The City of the Moon. Once upon a time, in a land far off, lies a kingdom called the City of the Moon. There was a girl named Bianca who had a nasty temper. She had a pet Pegasus named Cirrus. Cirrus was the only thing that made Bianca happy. But one day, Cirrus was not in his stable. She looked everywhere, but could not find him. She set out on a quest to find Cirrus. She brought her trusty crossbow Lion along. As she was climbing Archer's Mountain, she came across a peculiar leaf pile. She thought nothing of it and therefore continued to walk. Ah, she screamed as she fell. She did not think that was a hole. Thud, she landed. She got up and brushed herself off. She heard a strange hissing noise. It was pitch black, so she could not see. It grew louder and louder. Suddenly, she felt something slither across her foot. She quickly jumped back and realized what these were from the liquid on her leg. They were spitting cobras. If their venom reached your eyes, then you will become blind. The only way to make it out is to find a ladder. The sides of the pit were where the snakes congregated in large numbers. She can just faintly make out the silhouette of a ladder. There were more snakes guarding the ladder. Out of the blue, she felt something wet dripping close to her eyes. There was a voice. If you answer this riddle, you can, without a mistake, you can cross the path and death you shall escape. A riddle. How hard can this be? Bianca thought. Mountains will crumble, the voice continued, and temples will fall, and no man can survive this endless call. She thought long and hard, but could not figure it out. She got so frustrated. She was like a bomb waiting to go off. Time was definitely not on her side. Time, she shouted. The snakes quickly and quietly parted. She began once again on her journey. She encountered a deep, dark abyss on her way. It was very narrow, so she was easily able to jump across. As she was getting ready to leap, a ginormous green creature sprang before her. It was scaly and it had its back to her. It was a basilisk. If you looked into its eyes, it would kill you. The only way to kill it is its sweet spot, in this case, under its arm. She jumped across. She shot her crossbow but missed. She nearly looked into its eyes. Second try, hit it in the stomach. This just made it more mad. She aimed again and roar, he went down. She merely hopped over the dying basilisk. She got into the top of the mountain and wondered if this was where she could find Cirrus. She looked up at the sky and saw silver and gold. There was a woman beckoning her to come. She put her foot in the air and it hit something. There was an invisible staircase. She followed the woman. She got into a room and it had a strange staircase with symbols. There was a sign that said, Athena's Passage. Step on the correct block and you will go on. Step on the wrong block and you face death. The symbols were an owl, a spear, an olive branch, and Medusa's head. Medusa had wild snakes sprouting from her head. She approached the first step. She stepped on the olive branch. This represents peace. Nothing happened, so she assumed she got it right. She went to the next step and stepped on the owl, the representation for wisdom. Correct. She stepped on Medusa's head. The pieces started to rumble. She quickly grabbed for Medusa's head. On the next step, she was safe. There was a fancy door that was glowing. Having nowhere else to go, she went in. There was Cirrus. She ran toward him. Then she heard a deep voice. I am sorry I took your Pegasus. He interested me, he said. Who are you? Bianca said, letting hatred swell. I am Hades, lord of the underworld, god of the dead. Once again, I'm sorry. He said most sincerely, I accept your apology, she said. She was just happy to see Cirrus. Can I take Cirrus and go? She asked. You may, he said. Kindly, Bianca flew Cirrus home, and then they lived happily ever after. But one day, she noticed her crossbow missing. She looked everywhere. She saw a note that had the initials written M.I. on it. Mr. Miller, she said. She knew she had another quest.